What's up? Welcome to the Two Off the Tee show on Fantasy Six Pack. We are previewing the Open Championship, golf's final major. I'm your host, Keith Flemming. With me, as always, Alan, my boy, at Actively Lazy 85. And you know it is a major championship because we have Ryan Mulvey and Jay Hendley, the duo responsible for the Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Radio, 11 to 1 Central Time. Is that right?
Central Time.
Yes, I got it right.
It's so black and white, but it's still always difficult to figure out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially it's Central not far from us either, which is frustrating.
No, West Coast time is definitely the best time.
Okay. Football starts at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I have to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's pretty baller.
It's great.
Yeah. If you have the fancy cable packages, you can watch your favorite TV shows at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to it. Open Championship. Do you guys know why? Because I had to look it up this week. Why do some people call this venue Hoylake, and some call it Royal Liverpool?
It's the city's name is Hoylake, isn't it?
Correct.
But I don't know why they call it that. But yeah, there's a lot of. I noticed that as well.
All right, I get to give you guys some information here then. In
I was gonna
1871, Prince, I believe it was Andrew, one of Queen Victoria's sons, frequented and played this golf course. This was only 2 years, I believe, after it opened, giving it royal designation, and that is why it is known as Royal Liverpool. More impressive to me this week is just the fact that you go back through history. Walter Hagen won an Open Championship here. Bobby Jones won the second of his three. They did call that a Grand Slam, right? Even though technically I think he only won three. But anyway, his Grand Slam year, he won it here. Obviously, we know Tiger won here in 2006, Rory in 2014. Looks like they'll probably be a pretty famous name picking up. Would you not think that's a safe bet? One of the top guys in the world win this week.
I think that's definitely safer than the opposite.
All right. And will you guys be getting up at 2, 3 in the morning to watch this week?
I'm not even going to be asleep. I'll already be up.
I'll be up at 4:30. I'll be up at 4:30 watching it. Yeah.
Jay says I need those extra hours.
Yeah. Not 2 o'clock. 22 early.
I got issues. I did it for the Scottish. I'll do it again this week. But again, I got issues. All right. Let's see here. Some link style course stuff. Normally play firm and fast. The greens are very slow, obviously, because they're near coastal courses, meaning you get heavy winds. If they don't slow the greens down, the ball would just roll off wherever. It would really limit where the superintendents can put the pins. Thus, that's why they get slow courses. This is kind of a little bit of a different links course in the sense that there is a lot of trouble off the tee. Did y'all see the video or the picture of the out of bounds on 18?
I did not.
It's like 2 yards off the fairway, all the way down the right side. So there's going to be some shaky tee shots Saturday and Sunday. I'm interested to see how many players end up going the Tiger Woods route in 2006 and just saying, screw it, I'm not even going to hit the driver. A few things about Royal Liverpool this week that are different or you just probably need to know, other than, again, you're going to have the high fescue, you're going to have hazards, obviously the pot bunkers, and then out of bounds coming into play in a lot of places. They did make a slight change to the course, obviously making it more difficult. The 10th used to be a par 5, short par 5. Now it is a very long par 4. They lengthened both par 5s on the back to over 600 yards. So if the conditions are not downwind on that back 9, I don't see very many people reaching either one of those par 5s and 2, obviously making it much more difficult of a track for a par 71. And you got to get your scoring early. The 2 easiest holes on the course by far are holes 4 and 5 back to back, which is a very short par 5, followed by a very drivable par 4. Do not be surprised if people have back-to-back eagle opportunities, but seven par fours of 450 or more, three par threes of 190 yards or more, and then, of course, we just said two of the par fives, 600 yards or more. They're all 575 or more. I love, link style just because of the creativity and stuff that you have here. And anything about Royal Liverpool you guys want to make a comment on, or from what you've seen, read, what you're looking for, anything about the course?
I'll just comment on the weather. I think the rare occasion where you've got, a lot of guys on Thursdays just try to put up a decent number. But I think with the weather forecast, I think you really got to try to make something happen in that first day. 14-mile-an-hour winds, only a 20% chance of rain. But then Friday, 60% chance, Saturday, 90% chance, and Sunday, 80% chance. Not crazy winds, but just cool and rainy, except for Thursday. 62, 62, 64, 65. Just a little notable comment there.
Don't you think that'll make it play easier, though? If the rain doesn't get carried away.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not an absolute downpour, it'll certainly soften things up. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, they're used to playing in the rain over there, so I think we may see a slight advantage for the guys that are used to playing in Europe.
Or just the people with, better mental capabilities than others. We talk about it all the time. I'm all over Brooks Koepka this week. I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm not happy about him being paired with Patrick Cantley round one and Hideki. Two of the lower guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not good. But
you think that's a little live spite right there?
It feels like it. It does. I mean, same deal with Cam Smith's not in the featured groups.
Defending champion.
It's a tough look. It really is. Okay, real quickly on the course. For course comps, I went completely off of open comp course history. So I looked just at open championship numbers as well as link-style golf courses. Jordan Spieth, by far and away, the best strokes gained total on links golf courses. His finishes, he's got 4 top 10s in the last 5 years at Open Championships. His worst finish is 20th, so very good play. Other names that shouldn't surprise you: Fleetwood, McIlroy, Koepka, Lowry. There are some names on this list that would shock you a little bit. Tony Finau, who's only 8,200 this week, I think one of the best plays on DFS. He's 4th on this list. Francisco Molinari is 7th. Robert McIntyre, who everybody got to know a little bit better with the incredible shot he hit Sunday at the Scottish Open. He's 8th. Alex Noren shouldn't surprise anyone. Danny Willett-Wood, my boy Louis Oosthuizen, and Henrik Stenson are all in the top 20. Again, the rest of the names are pretty much the guys you're going to find in the 9K above range on DK, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. For key stats for this course, strokes gained off the tee I think is huge. Par 4 scoring from 450 plus. Remember, 7 holes of that length. Par 5 scoring, they're, again, 600 to 650 yards. Strokes gained putting, I looked at 3.3 putt avoidance and putting on slow greens. Strokes gained approach, 200 plus yards. Strokes gained total and high winds and course and comp course history. Do you guys think it's more important this week to gain strokes off the tee or to drive the ball straight?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was going to ask you, does strokes gained putting really matter in this particular venue because of the flatness and slowness of the greens? But I think
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I think straightness would matter more than strokes gained off the tee.
I agree. One of the things in my article this week on Fantasy Six Pack was strokes gained off the tee for short positional courses, which I think is what this is going to turn into. I don't think that you're going to see a lot of guys just bombing away because, again, there's trouble everywhere. I'm talking big trouble, hazards, out of bounds stakes. The names for the first 5 are not that, or 6 are surprising list. DeChambeau, Rahm, Connors, McIlroy, Scheffler, Cantley. But then Harman, Koepka, and Morikawa round out that. I looked at guys that play well when they don't have to hit driver, and play these short positional courses. But I just think Open Championships are about your iron play and around the greens. So also in the article at the top, there's 10 guys that are top 30 in both strokes gained approach and around the greens. In the field, there's Scheffler, McIlroy, Fleetwood, Hideki, Ricky Fowler, Russell Henley, Justin Rose, Tony Finau, Wyndham Clark, Jordan Spieth. I love that list. That list right there, I'd feel pretty good about playing any of those guys. I know we're going to get into the bets a little bit later, but y'all want to hear some betting trends before we get into it? Because there are some long ones in the Open. Last 9 winners, all inside the top 33 in official world golf rankings. Last 10 gained at least 1.3 strokes per round in the 3 months that preceded the Open, so you need to be playing well. 8 of the last 10 had a previous top 10 at the Open Championship. 8 of the last 9 had a previous win in that calendar year. 8 of 10 had a top 10 in their previous 3 starts before the Open Championship. And this one's just, wow. The last 13 winners finished outside the top 25, missed the cut, or did not play in the previous year's Open Championship. If you go through the leaderboard last year, if your name's Brooks Koepka, you got to like that. If you're a big guy for Colin Morikawa, who missed the cut last year, you got to like that. I can't get over that. That's a crazy stat, Alan. How often do we always look? How did people do the year before?
Yeah, I mean it does matter a little, especially when we're talking like trends. You would like to think it wouldn't matter, but history shows that it
13
does.
straight years says that's something else.
I was looking over some stuff as you were going over your information, and I want to buck the trend so bad, but I'm just like, man, don't do it. Don't do it. Just
Trends matter, right?
yeah, don't do it. Don't try to get cute.
All right, real quickly, let's do the DFS lineup. I'm just going to run through it. If you want more detail, read the article on Fantasy Six Pack, or you can listen to me on the Inside Drive tomorrow. Alan, I know you're going to be proud of me. I'm anchoring my lineup with Koepka. 10,400. Learn my lesson at Augusta. I won't do it again. He's the 5th most expensive player. Koepka has a top 20 in 16 of his last 20 majors and 11 top 6 finishes in those 20. It's ridiculous. He's cheaper than 4 other guys. So thanks very much, DK. Fowler 9,800. You guys know how big I've been on Fowler all year. I would not be surprised if he wins Sunday. I kind of feel like that may be where we're heading. Tony Finau 8,200. I think he's arguably the best value this week. He is one of the 10 that's in that strokes gained approach around the greens. He's finished top 30 in all 6 Open appearances. He's got one of the best strokes gained numbers on links courses. I think Finau is both a safe play, and I think a lot of people are going to be fading him because of his previous play over the last 5 weeks. I'm not worried about it. Joaquin Niemann is 4th in that lineup, 7,500. Just a guy that ball strikes, drives it really straight. I can see Niemann just really ball striking his way around this course. Brian Harman, if not for Finau, would be my favorite play at the price, 7,300. Top 30 in the official world golf ranking. 3 straight top 20s on tour. Back-to-back top 20s at the Open. And he played great last week. Plays great on positional courses. I think Harman is a very, very safe play. And then rounding it out with Jordan Smith, who I used last week from England. He's just played really well on links courses recently, and that continued last week, finishing 12th. He shot in the 60s all 4 rounds. There's actually 3 people in the 6,800 range that I really like. The other 2 being Louis Oosthuizen, who, just remind people, he's got 3 top 10 finishes at this event. Average is gaining 1.41 strokes on the field per round on links courses. To me, this is a Louis course. Robert McIntyre, who finished runner-up, he's also 6,800. He wasn't in the article, but I really do like him this week. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler. I wanted to leave him off. He's one of the other options, along with Louis this week. Woods won the event in 06, was leading the tour, total strokes gain for that season. McIlroy won in 2014, was number one on tour in total strokes gained that season. Scotty Scheffler is by far number one on tour, total strokes gained. And kind of to Ryan's point just a minute ago, this might be the course you don't have to putt great. 7 straight top 5 finishes, 17 straight top 12s. Holy shit. Woo! Wyndham Clark, 8,700, another one of the options. 2 wins in his last 6. I thought he looked great last week for only, I think, his 3rd time playing a link-style course. Finished 25th. It's top 15 in the field. Strokes gained total, tee to green, ball striking, short game, approach, and DK scoring. And then, oh, by the way, he's top 20 in strokes gained around the greens and putting. Wyndham Clark has turned into a really solid golfer. And then my least favorite play of the 10, but I just have a gut feeling, is Jason Day, 7,800. He's top 15 in strokes gained off the tee, around the green, putting, short game. Kind of like with Fowler, Day played great at this event when he was playing well. And I know he hasn't played great since his win, but mid-2010s, he had 5 top 30s in a 6-year span. So I like his value at 7,800. I think that's a little too cheap for what he could be. All right, do y'all want to do the draft first, or do you want to get through the gambling picks?
You call it, Jay.
Yeah, you call it.
Well, what do y'all call it then?
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. So we could just, why don't we just do it like as we do the draft? So if we draft a guy at certain odds and just talk about why we like that guy to win.
All right, I like that. Cool. All right, so for anyone who has been listening or has not been listening, Ryan has won both of the first 2. We could just call it player drafts for the majors. We had 0 rules to the guys you pick at Augusta. Was that Augusta or was it
I think that was.
I don't think we've had doing it yet because we didn't start our radio show until May.
You're right.
Yeah.
So we just did the PGA, the U.S. Open, and here we are in the Open Championship. The Masters.
Jay went a little off the board.
What?
No, it was the Masters because it had to be because Jay. What was the guy's name that Jay picked?
It was the PGA Professional.
Oh no, you're right.
PGA
I'm sorry.
Championship.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
He was so close to picking Michael.
She
took my money.
That's right.
I put $5 on that, bum.
Imagine if you would have put that 5.
I can't wait to next year's PGA Championship, and I look in the notes, and I'm like, "Damn, Jay had who is this guy? Tuck?" I'll try to have forgotten it by then. For the last one, we actually did make you kind of pick within odds ranges, so that way, I'm sure if most people do one of these major championship challenges. That's usually the way it is they'll have a list of, A golfers, B golfers, C golfers. You pick one from each category. But we're going to do 6 picks. Your top 4 scores play. Top 4 scores, Ron. You've won this twice. You would think you would at least know how to do it. And if for some reason you have more, say you have 3 players on your team all missed the cut, you will be added. We did 5, right?
5, yeah.
Yeah, plus 5 to the total score. And again, Ryan has actually, I think, won pretty easily, sadly. Ryan, you can pick the order for real because you have Alan's right. You've won twice. Give me an order.
All right, we'll go Jay, Keith, Alan, Ryan. And it's a snake, right? It's a snake.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah,
I was going to change it on you and be a dick after you did that and be like, yeah. But
I'd rather have the back-to-back picks than pick first because they're all pretty good at the top. So
that's what she said.
Hopefully.
All right, Jay, I can't believe that. We'll have to give you some ground rules. Let's say we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you got to keep him in some kind of window or he'll go.
All right, so anybody 25 to 1 or under that list is Scheffler, Rory, Rahm, Koepka, Cantley, Cam Smith, Xander, your boy Hovland, Hatton, Fleetwood, Fowler. Any of those guys?
I got to go with any of those guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for your first pick.
Yeah. I'll go. Hovland was in there, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I'll take Victor.
Ryan said, I figured that one out.
I'll take Victor. You called it.
I already made a list.
I'm going to take Scheffler.
Safe. He'll finish top 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I figure worst case. Alan, who you got there?
Brooks. Duh.
Brooks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of dick, but at the same point, he's right. Duh. I should have known where he was going with that. Who you going with, Ryan?
Man, I want to take Rory, but I know he's probably not even going to make the cut this week just because of the trends and all that good stuff. Hard to leave him off there. I'm going to take the defending champ, Cam Smith.
I like that. Some of the odds, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to like DK odds, but they've been all over the place. Koepka was up to almost 24-1. I believe it was Monday. He's down to 18-1 on there now. Ricky Fowler I saw some places like 15, 16-1. He's 25-1 now on there. All right, well, actually, Ryan, you can pick anybody from still we'll open it up to 40-1. So that's going to also bring in Morikawa, Lowry, DJ, and Spieth for this one.
I want to take Jordan because of the statistics and the trends, but I'm going to go with Pretty Ricky on this one, and hopefully Fowler gets his first major championship.
I really like Fowler this week.
I get so nervous for him. I don't know why. I just feel like he's going to hit a terrible shot while I'm watching him, and I'm like, please hit it. I don't know why. It just happens with him. I think that's past.
I really think it was big him winning the way he did, especially with Morikawa being in the playoff, birding that hole twice. I think that he looks free to me. He didn't even play that well last week, and he was in contention. He obviously had a bad Sunday.
That last Sunday was tough for sure.
That happens. All right, Alan, who you got, buddy?
Rombo.
I like that.
Rombo.
Do we think he's definitely going to live?
Who, Rom?
Yes.
I don't know. Is the money still there?
I'm confused.
They took off the thing where you couldn't go after each other's players. That was originally an agreement while the agreement was going on. That's off the table now. So people can still transfer and all that stuff until the agreement gets into place, from what I understand.
Rom's played 4 times in the last 2.5 months.
He's the one that I think really led to this deal, getting agreed in perpetuity, because if he jumped ship on the PGA, they were going to have a big problem.
Very true. All right. I don't want to be the one to take Rory, but I think I kind of have to. No, actually, I'll take Spieth. Screw it. I'm gonna take the guy with the most strokes gained on tour this year, and then the guy with the most strokes gained on link courses. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, there, Jay. Give me a name.
All right, I'm going with Alex Noren.
No. You can do that in like the 3rd or 4th round. Come on, buddy. Give me somebody. You guys left right now for this pick: Rory, Cantley, Xander, Hatton, Fleetwood, and I'm sorry, DJ as well.
DJ, you're Mr. Un-American according to Jeff.
Yeah. What about Morikawa? Who got?
He's DK's got him at 35-1.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yep, that'll
He's
work.
in there.
I'm sorry, Lowry and Morikawa would also fall in that group.
Okay, I got Morikawa.
There's an
All right, now I'll tell you what. Do you want to take Noren now, Jay?
I do.
I'll open up the whole field if you want it.
I do, man. I'm doing my research, man. He is a cold weather, windy golfer, man. I'm telling you. I'm calling it today. I'm calling it.
I love it.
Yes.
Especially because,
what is Noren's odds?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He could have got him in like the 6th round, but this is what I love about Jay. God, I'm trying to find it. I literally can't. He is actually somebody that I had circled when I was doing my DK research, because
nothing.
His strokes gains are good on
odds.
It's an emotional pick, but I like it, man. I can feel it.
What's emotional about it?
I don't know. I've done my research on him. He seems to be.
It's pride in himself for looking up, a
The
stat
scariest
or two.
3 words that you can hear out of Jay's mouth. 4 words. I've done my research.
I searched it up.
Searched it up. That's right. Don't forget
Oh my god! All right, so it's a free for all now, boys. You can just pick from
Literally.
wherever. Give me Tony Finau. I really like him this week. I'll add him for my third golfer. Alan, you've got Koepka and Rahm. It's a pretty freaking strong 1-2 for a guy picking third. Who you got next?
Rahm's probably still a little shaky though. He hasn't been the greatest at the Opens. I'm gonna go with Spieth, unless I missed somebody picking him because I've been writing it down. You picked him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I was just making sure. DeChambeau.
Ooh.
You gonna take DJ Ryan?
Staying away from Rory.
Come on, you want DJ Ryan?
I potentially want him, but there's some other cool names floating around.
Well, it's a good thing you got 2 picks in.
That's right. I'm gonna go Tyrrell Hatton for my first one.
Did you see him throw his club last week?
Yeah,
it was great.
He's got such a temper.
He's such a. Alan's pretty spot on. He's mini Rahm. He missed a ball strike like Rahm. He got a temper like Rahm too.
He missed that short little putt in the wind, right? Was that him that missed that short little putt from about 2.5 feet in the Scottish? Yeah.
He had one where I swear the ball didn't come a foot off of his club head. He just flung that thing like over his head as he finished his swing. Hatton, I love Hatton. Who else you got coming back?
I'm going to channel
like a terrorist.
Jay Hendley on this one, and I'm going to reach out to the number 1 golfer on the Live Tour, 3 wins this year, making tens of millions of dollars, and that's Taylor Gooch.
Woo! Yeah. Holy shit!
Yeah, I love the Live Tour.
I may have to go back and actually look at him for DK because he was nothing on there. Alan,
and he is American, Jay.
I'm never gonna live that down.
For y'all that do not know, because I forgot this was not on this show, we were discussing the Ryder Cup because it's nuts. If you've not looked at the rankings, there's only 6 automatic spots and there's 6 captain picks. It's going to be a tough decision. And Jay immediately said, no, Dustin Johnson. He's the most un-American. What did he say? Person I know? Or did he say player?
Pretty much un-American, man. Un-American.
Basically,
and then we trash talk Patrick Reed, and then Ryan immediately goes back to man, I got to have Patrick Reed on.
We want to win.
Do you want good people or do you want to win? That's where we draw the line.
It's like it's not a popularity contest, Jay.
That's right. That's right.
USA.
Let's see. I got a long shot on my article, but I can't pronounce his name. So, but Nikolai Hodggaard.
Oh yeah, the what's he from Switzerland?
Yeah, I think he's Danish, but
same thing.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna get real technical. He's European, and so. I usually have a European bias when it comes to these tournaments. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, because a lot of times they are used to the conditions. But I think the link style course kind of takes that out of the equation a little bit. Because from what I've seen of link style courses, if you play one condition wise, you kind of understand what you're going to be up against. You're going to get the wind. You're going to get some kind of moisture in there as well. Now, if we get variances like you were talking about earlier, Ryan, if it's pouring or something like that, then that might change it a little bit just because of the temperature. I think our link style courses are a lot warmer than theirs over there. But for the most part, I feel like that evens it out a little bit for Americans to be a little bit more comfortable.
So you taking him though?
Yeah, I'm taking him. I like to throw my long shot in there, man.
I like it. All right. Well, I guess if I am next, Hey, we're just talking about. Give me Fat Boy. Give me Patrick Reed. I'll take him.
Yeah, right. Patrick Reed.
Jay, who else have you done some research on?
Well, so I'm thinking back of like Tom Watson. I'm thinking back of Stuart Sink. Yeah, but he was what, in his late 50s or in his 50s whenever
he was in his 60s
or 60s. Yep. I'm thinking of
Stewie to win.
I love how we're like, remember when Watson choked? It's like he was 60. Yep. We couldn't do it in our prime.
But I'm thinking of Stuart Sink. I'm thinking some older guys here, and the one that's coming to my mind is Keegan Bradley's kind of a veteran right now. I mean,
I was hoping you were going to go with Padraig Harrington, man. I was going to be really impressed.
Oh, man.
He played well at the Scottish Open last week. Still hits it a mile.
You know, that's not a bad pick, but I'm going to –
Do not let him influence you, Jay. Go with your gut.
Yeah, go with Pat.
So you're going with Keegan?
I'll go Keegan. Patty and Keegan are kind of the same guy anyways. They look real nervous.
Yeah, American Irish, it's pretty much the same thing.
Right. There you go. I'm going Keegan
too. You got back-to-back picks, so go again there, my friend.
Yeah. I will go with.
Is this pick number 5?
This is pick number 5.
Cool.
All right, so Fowler's been picked.
Correct.
Yeah.
Your boy Rory McIlroy, the PGA Tour poster boy, he's from Northern Ireland. You can take him.
Yeah,
man, we are haters.
Nah, man. Like I said in my article, his odds have been cut in half this week for the most part. Which
there's no odds for us in this, though. You can
but I'm just saying. But it's the hype. It's the hype behind it, man. It's just too much. This isn't.
Yeah, you should be that 16.
Yeah, this isn't the Rory that's the heir to Tiger Woods' throne, man. Like I said that literally in the article. I was like, they're capping this like he's the guy that's going to take over the Tiger Woods PGA franchise. Like I remember that Rory. This isn't that Rory. Last week was great, and he made history. But come on, man.
He did win here. You remember that, right?
Yeah, in 2004.
Okay. Just making sure you know that. This is a perfect Rory course.
Almost a decade ago.
Jay, don't take him. I'll take him. Go ahead, Jay. Who you got?
Tiger Woods, I'll take him.
I got Fleetwood. He can flight the ball down a little bit. He's a mutter. Yeah,
right, I'm taking Rory.
Jay. I was gonna take
since y'all are talking so much shit about him.
If
Rory's gonna win, this is the contract where he can, because he doesn't have to putt well.
The best
part what he does, where he can just drive the ball really straight, pick up a ton of strokes on the field doing it. And again, I know if you're testing me to take him at 7-1, no, I don't like that. But do I like him more than Alex Norgan, Keegan Bradley, Tommy Fleetwood, Tony Finau, DeChambeau, Hogard, Hatton, Taylor Gooch? Yeah, I do.
Why didn't you say Brooks and Rahm?
Hey, do not put Gooch below Rory. He's the live money. Rory wouldn't be able to hack it on those 54.
All right, Alan, who you got?
Well, with that attitude, I'm not picking. I'll
take my ball and go home.
I know,
that's right.
He just wants to prove he can beat us with just 4 picks.
No, I really don't want to take this guy, but let me get Lowry. Anybody picked him?
No,
because
the good old.
Does anybody else think of bad boys when they hear Shane Lowry?
I just think of alcohol when I think
Mike
of Shane
Lowry.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. That's probably a 20-year-old movie reference, but I'm getting old. All right, Ryan, who you got, buddy?
Still making them.
My final 2 picks here. I got to go with Brian Harmon for the first one. I just think he'll make the cut, finish top 10. So a safe, solid pick in this. Plays a real good iron game.
He's 10-1 to top 10, by the way.
Yeah.
10-1. Love that prop.
That's worth $100. That's for sure. That'd be a good one. Yeah, and Georgia boy for Jay and all that good stuff. So I'll take Brian Harmon there, and then that last pick's a tough one. Nobody's took DJ yet, right?
No.
Okay, I got to take my fellow Chanticleer just because it seems right. I'll finish up with Dustin Johnson.
Was this the one that he went out of bounds on?
The Open Championship? I don't
There was like a decade ago, he did lose an Open where he was right there. He went out of bounds.
He lost so many tournaments.
But it was like one of those deals that reminds me of this course that he could have been more than 5 yards off the fairway. That's why I couldn't believe he was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Well, Norman and Johnson have some similarities then. Greg Norman and
for sure.
Yeah.
Here you go again.
Oh, you're saying he's anti-American?
Yeah, Greg Norman isn't American, so that's fair.
That's fair.
Australia.
But again, we all now are un-American, Jay. As I tried to explain to you on the radio.
Yes.
The final pick.
I hope he doesn't bring my score down, but let me get JT.
Oh, I was debating him, but it's just like
he didn't play too awful last week, and I still think he was using that as a just training course to get ready for this week.
True. Right. My final pick, just to show Jay I wasn't messing with. Give me Padraig Harrington.
Oh, dang, Keith.
I mean, he's only 150-1, so somebody thinks he's decent.
He didn't finish in the top 25 last year, if that's what you're asking.
which is good.
Hey, you didn't pick a guy you couldn't pronounce his name. That's how you.
You mean Morikawa?
Yeah.
Yeah. You committed to the I at the end of his name, that's for sure.
I didn't even realize it until y'all brought it up, and now I've had several people be like, "Yeah, you butcher a lot of names." I'm like, "No shit, I know that. Just let me live my life."
It's beauty. It's beauty. Was that a Varsity Blues quote?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Again, another 30-year-old movie reference. Jay, who you got for your last pick, buddy?
My last pick. Let me go to my research here. How about defending champion of Augusta National Masters, Danny Willett?
Did you say defending champion?
He is a Masters winner, but he's not
he's not defending. Yeah. It was 2000
former Masters champion. It was only like 8 years ago, but
several years ago when
he probably still considers himself the defending master. I'd be like, you got to come through me here this year. I still have a green jacket. The teams this week: Jays, Hovland, Morikawa, Noren, Keegan, Fleetwood, Willett. I actually really like that draft, Jay.
Why was I writing it down then if you already got it written down?
Even if I ever not written something down.
I don't know.
That's a good point, though. I've got Scheffler, Spieth, Finau, Reed, Rory. I can't believe took Reed before Rory. It's so disrespectful. Padraig Harrington, Allen with Koepka, Rahm, DeChambeau, Hogard, Lowry, Mike Lowry, JT, and then Ryan with Cam Smith, Ricky Fowler, Tyrell Houghton, Taylor Gooch, Brian Harmon, Go Dogs, DJ. Man, I really don't want you winning again. Because I said on the radio show last week, you would be going for a Ryan Slam in Augusta next year, which I don't like it. Don't like it at all. All right, Alan, give us some of your best betting cards. Who you like this week?
I was really high on Jordan Spieth because of the history.
Mm-hmm.
And then at his odds at 30-1. I like Bryson DeChambeau at 60-1. And obviously, I didn't put Brooks in my article, but I mean, by this point, Brooks is a default for any major for me. And then John Rahm at 13-1. It's been a long time since I've seen him at those odds. And I know we're probably contradicting a little bit this week. I think that the athletic golfers are going to be the ones that shine this week. And usually when we talk about athletic golfers, it's the guys that can hit their irons further than everybody else, not necessarily with power, but they're able to contort their bodies and do things and be creative. I think that's what we're going to see this week. And I tried to take guys that I thought kind of fit that mold a little. I don't think I would consider Jordan Spieth an athlete if I seen him in the gym, but on the golf course, I've seen him be pretty creative and do some things. And then when you look at Brooks, he's strong enough to hang with everybody else. Same with Rahm and DeChambeau. If they do have to go less than driver, those are guys that I think still get linked when they have less than driver. And there was a couple guys like Cantley and Burns I didn't pick because I thought that when they do go less than driver and it becomes, some distance with these approach shots, that they're not going to be in positions to score on the par fives and take advantage of them like some of these other guys. And I think you had highlighted that in your notes too. Like there was 2 holes in particular that guys are going to have an opportunity to score. And what I'm hoping for is that the guys that I picked are going to be the ones that are there. Somebody like Spieth, who isn't necessarily somebody you would consider to have a lot of length off the tee, but his putting will negate a lot of things. Like he doesn't give a lot of strokes back still. And I still think he's one of the best when you're talking about making 35-foot putts on a regular basis or something. Like he just has a way of making some long par saves and things like that. So I think that's
sounds a lot like me.
I've never seen you play, but I'll take your word for it. But I was
talking about birdies were good, but if you're talking about long par saves, 35 footers, I can do that.
I think that's going to come into play this week, and I don't think we'll see a first time winner. But if we did see a first time winner, I think it'll be a European player. I don't think it'll be an American.
Who was your low odd guy this week?
My lowest odd guy this week, after all that jargon, is John Rahm at 13-1. And then Brooks, again, default is 18-1. Spieth is 30-1. And then
what do you think about Hovland? That's the guy to me. If there's a first time winner, that's who I keep coming back to.
Yeah.
I think I still haven't seen. I haven't
Fowler,
seen
I should say. Actually, I always forget Fowler hasn't won a major either. But those are the 2 guys I could see. They fit a lot of the bill too for the last, the trends where I think both have a win this year. No, I know they do. They both had a top 10 in the last 3 weeks. They're killing it, strokes gained right now.
I feel like Hovland would cave under the pressure before Ricky would, which is weird to say because I'm always like harping on how Ricky be choking. But I think if when I'm thinking of a major, you're going to be paired with a Rahm, with a Brooks, or Rory coming on that Sunday more than likely. How does Hovland respond to that? I don't know if he's I don't think he's quite there just yet mentally to handle that pressure. Whereas Fowler, I mean, he's at this point experienced all the highs and lows. I don't think he would fold as quickly as maybe Hovland. And then one other thing I don't like about Hovland on Sundays, he takes a lot of unnecessary risks on times when he really should just lay it up, or times where he should just take it easy, just get your yardage, play the short game. I've seen him take on water when he shouldn't take on water. I've seen him go driver when he should probably just literally throw that thing across the course. But I mean, sometimes I like that, but for majors, like you have to be a steady golfer, and I'm not sure Hovland is steady enough right now to win a major. He's good, but like I don't know if he's ready to ascend to that level. Like when Morikawa won his major, like we kind of could see it, but he had this thing about him where you were like, okay, if he's in the final grouping, he's gonna make it work. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, me personally, with Victor Hovland.
I agree with everything you just said. I just do think that like a U.S. Open Championship, he's a good enough ball striker where if he is, say, hitting his irons and his driver as good as he's capable of, he could beat everybody despite that stuff. A couple of guys real quickly I want to mention before we get out of here, and I want to get a few bets from just Jay and Ryan if they have any favorites. No
we
pressure.
Always want Jay's bets.
He did a lot of research this time. So
I do think DeChambeau 65-1 is incredible odds with his history at this event. The fact that he plays very well on positional courses, surprisingly. Wyndham Clark 60-1. Again, he's got 2 wins in his last 5 starts. The U.S. Open that he won, a lot of people are comparing this course to it. Obviously, it won't have the high winds that you'll get from the coast, but the rest of the course plays very similar. A lot of long par fours, a lot of long par threes. Kind of going to take a little bit of the advantage away from the longest hitters because you both have to either put it in play or, just kind of lay back like Tiger did. And then Jason Day at 110-1 and Joaquin Niemann 150-1. I can't believe it. Both those guys are too good of ball strikers on a course that should suit both of their games. I'm shocked they're 110, 150-1.
I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the amount of action that they'll get to. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of people are running to knock your door down to bet on those guys, and I think current form wise, even though we dive in the stats, I don't know if the odds makers take a look at that. If they I would consider DeChambeau a horse for the course. Like I said that in my article. So 60-1 is crazy to me. I would at least see him at 35, maybe 40, but not 60-1. But they're not looking at that kind of stuff. They're looking at, has he won recently? What is he doing on the Live Tour? How does that relate to the current field? Where would you put Bryson DeChambeau if you had the top 20 golfers in the world right now? Is he still a top 20 golfer? I think that's how they're thinking. You got to remember, people who make the odds, they're not necessarily fans. They're just going by the math. And I don't know if they dove deep enough for that. So that would probably explain why you have some of these guys like Day and them so high.
Jay, would you rather put money on Justin Thomas 80-1 or Brian Harman 90-1?
There's only one answer to that question.
I would go Justin Thomas.
And that's not the right answer.
That's not the right answer.
Not on this course.
If you look back on some of these major championships and you see your guys that finished second place through 10th or 15th place, are these the guys that make it to your SEC championship games in football but can't win a national championship game? That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. So, I mean, you see Harris English, for instance. I mean, he hangs around the top 10 all the time, it seems like, but Harris can't seal the deal. And so anyways, I don't know.
No, Jay, you're making a good point. Me and Alan talk about it constantly on here, that nobody's really worth 7-1. As much as we like Scheffler, as much as we like Rahm, none of them win enough to where technically you would be winning money betting on them 7 straight tournaments if they hit one. So, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Actually, that's why I was kidding with you a little bit. I do think Justin Thomas at 80-1 is the better play. I don't think he's going to win, but it is shocking to see somebody of JT's level with 2 major championship victories. Wasn't it at the Open that he shot 63? Or was that the U.S. Open? I think it was the Open. He shot 63 in the final round and almost came back and won. It's kind of wild what has been going on with the odds, and I'm very interested to see what happens to betting boards when we get back to, I think, some kind of normalcy in golf in the next couple of years.
Is that what you call that?
I think normalcy is out the window.
Yeah, man.
Okay, touche. Wishful thinking, motherfucker.
I don't even know where the league is.
Ryan, give me one guy that not a lot of people are talking about. You wouldn't be surprised if it's in contention and even wins the tournament Sunday.
It doesn't happen very often. People don't win back-to-back majors hardly ever, but you kind of mentioned it, the course being a little bit similar to Los Angeles Country Club. And, Wyndham Clark got it done out there, held up against the pressure, 60-1, won the last major out there. Obviously a little bit different in the Open Championship. But, I could see him at least being in contention, fresh off that pressure, similar style golf course. The wind's not going to get too crazy, just a little bit some rain on and off. So I could see a guy like him at 60-1, worth a shot on that one. You were talking about JT. I feel like JT and Ricky Fowler have kind of switched places this year. Ricky was struggling so much, all that. Now he's winning.
Friday, right?
Freaky
Friday.
Yep. And JT just, I don't know, especially after watching that first season of Full Swing too, and just kind of seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff with JT, and he's got a lot going on upstairs, and I just don't know if he's in a good spot mentally right now. But I mean, these guys can flip that switch at any time. That's for sure.
Maybe Tiger did befriend him just to tear him down.
He very well could have. He couldn't handle that kind of stuff. But another one, I mean, we talked about it. I like Brian Hartman, 90-1. This guy's going to win something important at some point, and wouldn't mind seeing it be a major championship, especially with that kind of stuff. Now, top 10 stuff, there's a whole lot of awesome plays out there for sure. But like you guys were saying, that's where you make your money betting, is in those top places, because you got to hit every once in a while on the winners. And yeah, with those low odds, it's not even worth it, because it's golf. And regardless of how good you are, the best in the world, you're not going to win, all the time, even 50% of the time. It's impossible. It's very, very difficult. But some of the lower odds guys that we haven't really jumped on yet, why not Matt Fitzpatrick, at 45-1, he's an Englishman. He's won a US Open, and has been playing some good golf. Was it this year he won Harbour Town, or was it the previous year that he won Harbour?
It was this year.
This year. So, yeah, I mean, he's not really getting a lot of that attention, and, 45-1 is kind of right in that honey hole of a good spot. But I also I don't know why, but, after looking at all the stuff Gooch has been doing, I mean, nothing would make me more excited to have a live guy win another major this year.
But you'd want it to be Gooch?
Why not?
Yeah, he's been on the Gooch kick, man. He has been.
I mean, he's won a bunch of money, but Jesus, if we're gonna get a live, can we get like a Phil Mickelson or somebody a little bit more entertaining than Taylor Gooch?
It's gonna be Bryson, and him and Brooks are gonna join forces.
Yep.
Yeah,
I just don't. You can't bet against
the mega powers
either.
Yeah.
He's got such a good long iron game, and like Alan was talking about, Brooks Koepka. I mean, his long irons, he's probably the best in the game, in my opinion, when it comes to long irons. And you're going to need him out there this week.
Morikawa 35-1. Alan, our rule.
Yeah, but God, that putting, man, I've seen some awful displays.
I agree. But I just again want to say that this is the kind of course.
I know
you don't have to putt great. You just don't have to give away shots.
It's been 3 times I've been like, the hell with it. Putting ain't gonna matter, and it's been 3 times I've been like, dude, what? Oh, come on.
What y'all's rule is it? What is it less than?
If he's 30-1 or more, you have to bet Morikawa in a major.
Yeah,
because he won the Open 2 years ago. We had just made the rule and we forgot about it. Didn't have him. Of course, he went on to win the Open. And we were not happy. So now anytime he's in a major and he's more than 30-1, we say you have to put a few dollars on him.
I will also say too that when it comes to American golfers, I usually favor West Coast golfers when it's a link style course anyway. So Colin would fit that. Fowler would fit that. Xander, that's how we first met as well. But it's always been like a good correlation between guys who grew up on the West Coast, just more comfortable to link styles. Just like when you get a windy course, you gotta have a Texan in there. Like, they're used to it. They're comfortable with it. Hence Spieth and a couple of those other guys. Like, this is what they do. Like, this is normal to them. So I think this week you can't get too far in love with European golfers, because like I said, I really think that the link style course is going to even it out a little bit. But I think the year, like when Shane Lowry won, like I think every golfer I had was European except for Lowry, unfortunately. And then I had Brooks thrown in there. But and that's usually how I've bet the Open. My first Open win was with Henrik Stenson at 80-1 when he beat Phil.
That's a great day.
Because he was a European.
Phil.
Yeah, he was a European golfer, and I was like, hey, they're used to to these courses, and I carried that with me for probably the next like 4 or 5 years. But I think this particular course, this particular venue, we might see another American.
I also would just like to say, if the weather is relatively benign, it's looking like, again, there's chances of rain, but the winds are nothing for a link style course. Watch out again, seriously, for some of these older guys. Like maybe like an Adam Scott, a Louis Oosthuizen, and a Keegan Bradley, like one of these guys that's just been there a bunch and just ball strikes to death. Because I think the scoring is going to be a little deeper than we expected if the wind stays at it. Because originally I thought maybe 6 to 8 under. I'm now thinking 12 to 15 at least.
Do you think that you guys mentioned it before, Brooks being paired with Cantlay and Hideki? Do you think that costs him a couple strokes for the first round, or do you think he can get over it?
I think it can, and I also think it might not even matter. Because it's crazy. Going back and looking, I was like, yeah, he didn't have a good U.S. Open. He didn't seem in it. He finished 17th. He's like automatic in majors, especially if it's a ball striking one. And we were talking about this, a straight ball is the best ball in high winds. It's the best ball, obviously, on a tight course like this. Nobody hits massive, long, straight drives more effectively than Brooks Koepka. And I actually could see him pulling out driver all week and just saying, fuck it. I'm going to hit it right down the middle as far as I can. But I'm sure he was not thrilled about Cantlay, and I was a little surprised he didn't really say anything about it in his presser, which
probably better with him than behind him.
That's fair.
Yeah,
with him, you can hit your shot and move on and get ready for your next.
That's true.
One. When you're behind him, you can't do anything about it.
That, and I think for him is like he's a momentum golfer, so it probably affects him more on Saturday and Sunday than it would on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, good point.
Do you think he quit? You think he quits after his second round?
I think
Koepka or Cantlay?
I think he punches him in the face.
I was gonna say I think he would physically abuse Cantlay before he quit.
I can imagine, like, and Cantlay seems like a really like studious guy too, and he's got like some Bryson in him where he's probably analyzing every angle and so forth. And I don't think he's intentionally like being slow. He just can't figure out like his shot, or he's not confident enough in his shot. But man, like, hurry the hell up.
They need to put him on a clock.
Yeah, I'm
look what it did for baseball. Put these fuckers on a clock.
I'm at home and it's annoying.
If they start walking off the golf course, they'll probably get an idea of.
They got to start penalizing them. Until somebody actually gets penalized, it'll never change.
I saw it this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
Say what now?
Do you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
No.
Jay Hendley Golf? No.
Plug your business. Come on.
Plug what? Plug what?
Your website.
Your business. What you do for a living.
I didn't know what you wanted from me. Yeah. www.golfwithjay.com, Panama City Beach, Florida, Bay Point Golf Club. Come see me.
He's a better swing instructor than he is a salesman, I promise you. What you want to plug, buddy?
Of course, come, if you're down in the Panama City Beach area, come play some golf there at the Nicholas course at Bay Point Golf Club. And then you can watch me and Jay when he's actually on the radio show on the Inside Drive. That's on ESPN Northwest Florida, 11 to 1 Central Time. You can check it out on Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. You don't have to be in the local area to listen to it.
There you go.
Mr. Allen?
I'm doing the fan cast with the Eagles tomorrow. And it's actually one of the guys who was like trolling me when Brock Purdy got hurt. So honestly, I don't this is like Troy Vincent or something.
I may have to tune into that one, Alan.
I was gonna say I don't even know how I'm gonna act. Who knows? It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. But the fan cast, if you didn't catch the last one, it was with the Kansas City Chief fan. It's just good to get fan perspective on things, and I think it helps people learn a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, I usually use it for gambling stuff because it makes me have to research the team and learn some things about them. But the Chiefs are like public enemy number 1 to me, so I already knew about them anyway.
You're funny, man.
I hate them.
I'm not a fan either. Again, check me out on the Inside Drive tomorrow. Be sure to check both me and Alan's articles up on fantasy6pack.net. He's got a betting preview for you. I have a DFS preview. Appreciate you guys being here. Jay, how hot is it right now on that lesson tee?
Hot. Yes.
I thought about you today, buddy. I
Yeah.
really did. I walked outside for 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You gotta be in pants too, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah. I
You're a
don't
good guy, Ryan.
We wouldn't be talking right now if I had to wear pants. I mean, literally. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
119 out west.
Yeah.
It's going to be at least, I think I saw in Arizona, the lowest high through next Monday is 114 degrees.
Nuts.
And, I know the joke is always, that's a dry heat.
Still an oven.
That's pretty freaking hot. That is, I don't want to be out there either.
No.
But one of my favorite weeks of the year. Love the Open.
It is.
I'm excited about it. Again, be sure to subscribe to Fantasy Six Packs YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to both me and Alan's Twitter, which are up on the screen, and ESPN Inside Drive. It's on both their Facebook page. They have a YouTube page. You can, what's the other way? Is it
Ask Jay. He knows.
what's
It's
the other
on
way,
Twitch.
buddy?
It's on
You got
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah. ESPN.
God, we sound like we're 400 years old.
104.3
Yeah,
along
Twitch.
the Gulf Coast, 102.9 along Port St. Joe.
102.1 is in Marianna. It's currently down. The other one's
Yeah.
101.9 in Port St. Joe.
101.9. There you
You
go.
can also download the free mobile app.
There
Where's
you
that
go.
at, Jay?
You can't beat it.
That is on your Apple Store, on your iPhone.
What if you don't have an iPhone?
Samsung Droid.
This is why the show is so much fun. You just toss him up and he just goes.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
something
just
like
he's
that.
hitting the wrong direction. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
He's like that NBA
He
guy
does. He
that went
smashes
forward
it.
on
He's
his own
just
hoop.
smashing it the other way. Oh, man. You guys are the best. We appreciate y'all coming on.
Thanks for having
And
us on, as always.
I'll be
Thank
sure
you,
to text y'all at 2 a.m. Thursday.
Yeah.
So
Just everybody make sure you get your DraftKings and your bets in before midnight in the Central Time Zone, because the first tee time is 12:35 our time.
Yeah.
So
And I hate to do this, but if you're on DK, it's probably not a bad idea to set your alarm for 1:30 and make sure nobody withdraws
Yeah.
because it's a tough pill to swallow if you wake
It's
up
the
at like
worst.
2:33 in the morning and one of your guys is just WD'd and an alternate
Louis.
is out there playing. That's tough. I've been there. But for Keith and Alan, and then obviously Jay and Ryan from the Inside Drive, this has been 2 Off the Tee on Fantasy Six Packs YouTube channel. See you.
Peace.